Hey everybody, it's Steve with Sky194, and I appreciate you taking the time to visit and check out my video. And awesome, we got the 1.9 update. I know the YouTube is completely saturated with all the reviews and testing and all that, so it's really awesome when you see get to see a lot of content, a lot of stuff from all the creators out there. So I'm concentrating on trying to get some setups done and see the differences also between the cars we already had and the new ones. And of course, like I said in some other videos, I really wanted to try to spend a little bit more time on the new ones first, try to get them, see how they are, and what you have to adjust and the difference between the tires, tire model and all those kinds of things. So I have been going to be burning the midnight oil, so to speak, for a little while, for a few days, trying to catch up on some stuff. So please, any comment or feedback, what you would like to see, would be very appreciative, as my time is I'm going to try to do the best I can with the time I have. But this time, the first video here for this is going to be on the Porsche here at Valencia. So again, I can't say enough for the kudos as far as how great everything looks. Just awesome as far as the track and the cars, and it's just beyond words. I mean, they just are awesome inside and out. Which I'm thinking about doing a video to show you some of that. Also with the liveries. So again, please leave your comments if anybody's interested. But I've been working on a setup. Now, I've never been at Valencia. I have in motorcycle, some of the MotoGP racing and stuff like that. Those games, but I've never raced it in a GT car or a car. So any car that I can think of, really. So I've been really studying, doing some looking at some of the other creators, and then I've been spending a lot of time with all three cars here. But obviously, the Porsche is, I'm spending a little bit more on the Porsche and doing it first. So we're going to make a couple laps here, and by no means am I an expert here at Valencia. So just take this, hopefully it'll help. But these are just things that I'm going off of, what I've learned. So we're going to make a couple laps here. And, of course, we will go over the setup at the end. One thing, I love the way the Porsche sounds. It sounds great. Speed-wise, so far, I've seen it. It's equal to everything else down the straightaway within a mile an hour or less. And you see this, I started with 55 liters, and this is the first lap. So tires are still coming up to temperature, so they're not, you're still sliding. You're still a little bit of, it's not optimum grip. Great looking car. It's a great looking, great sounding. Again, these laps were not perfect. And now we're going to go ahead and show you some of the places where basically my brake markers and things like that. And basically that white stripe back here is where I basically just, I hit the brakes, downshift to fourth. I aim for that green and run it all the way out. The white marker right here is where my brake marker. You want to kind of come in here late, aiming for these little green patches on the inside. You'll see them at almost every corner. So you just going to want to try to hit them a little bit. And you want to do a late apex here because you're wanting to set this next corner up. Again, this is a lot of connected dots. And again, I run it out wide so you can get a nice, you want to cut this to the left. If you cut it in early, you're going to run out wide. So you don't want to do that because it's going to screw up again the next corner. Again, it's connecting the dots. So basically, I try to come in here and late and cut this really good so I can hang over to the left really fast. Then again, it's the white marker here from my brake marker down to second. Again, hit the green, go out. I just upshift once and then go back down because there's no brake marker there, so it's kind of a feeling type thing. I just go up a little bit. Some of the other cars, like the Ferrari, the new Ferrari, and the new Lamborghini, I just stay in second. But with the Porsche, you go up to third and then come back down to second, and then you just kind of time it. And again, try to get on the green a little bit, run it out. And then here, I'm going past that white. So you want to go past the white marker, not up to it. I mean, so you want to go past it before you hit the brakes. Go down to second. Again, come in. So try to straighten it out and open it up so you can get on the gas early. And again, you're going to cut this, and you're looking for a white marker up here. Don't go in too deep here. So again, right before the white marker here, I'm on the brakes. And you just want to hug this all the way around pretty much. You can get on this a little bit if you want to, but this feels a little slick. Kind of reminds me of Zandvoort or some of the other tracks that got just a little. It just doesn't seem like it has the grip that some of the rest of the track has. And then again, you want to run it out wide. You're aiming for this here because you want to cut this to where you have a nice and you're wide open. You want to cut it in so you can have a nice straight line here. And here I go straight. I just really go. Once I get on this, I just go straight and brake straight and then turn. Again, you want a late apex. You go pretty wide. And again, you want to be coming in right here by the green here again. You can run it right all the way out there on the green. This is the trickiest corner. This corner to me is the trickiest corner of the track because it's one of those make or break corners. And I'm still trying to get, where you can really make some time up or you can lose a lot of time. So again, it takes a lot of practice and timing to really to carry your momentum through here. So I just touched the brake. I'm in fourth, and I think I downshift to third, but I just touched the brake and try to get as close to this curb as I can. And then run it out. But if you can, I probably slow down a little bit too much, and then here you're accelerating, you're running it out wide, and I'm braking right as I'm going by this white marker here. And stay wide and then cut it in. And, I mean, there's more time to be had there, but it's definitely, a good solid. It was doing these laps one after another. The last lap was like a 132.40 and a 132.44. So, again, it's, and that's with 55 liters of fuel. So, again, not bad. I mean, I know there's more time in it. I've already had a 31 in my Delta and just messed up a corner. So I think that there's definitely, it's definitely with more experience driving it and just, getting more miles under my belt here at the track. I think the car, the way it is, with very little adjustment, would probably be, definitely in the 31s. Like I said, I had the 31s in my Delta, but I just messed up a corner. So I think it's all there, and that's what the race, with 55 liters starting off. So again, I think a solid base setup that you can go off from there. Now I want to do something a little different. We're going to come back. We're going to jump over to the night, and we're going to jump inside the car and do a lap because all the cars on the Porsche now, not the Ferrari or the Lamborghini, but the Porsche doesn't have any extra lights here on the front, and I'm wondering how that's going to look at nighttime because it doesn't have any extra driving lights that I've seen. So these headlights look pretty awesome, but I just want to see how they look at nighttime. So we're going to, and of course I've never seen Valencia at nighttime either. So let's come back and check that out. Alrighty, well here's the night laps, and I was really impressed with the lights. I mean, basically it's just a low beam and a high beam, just like you would in your ordinary car. So that's how it works. But I mean, they are definitely super bright. So I guess they work great. So didn't really have any issue other than, nothing abnormal anyway. I mean, at nighttime, sometimes you miss a marker or you brake a little late, but that happens even with any car. Again, you just can't see it, or the light just doesn't hit it right or something. But really, I think they're really good. So we'll do another lap, and just so you can see what it looks like from the outside at night, and then we'll jump in the car this time so you can kind of see what the lights look like, inside the car driving at night. Did some more adjustments on the setup. I've probably done, just in the Porsche, I've probably done about 80, 90 laps. So it's not perfect, but I think it's really good. You see my fast right now is a 132.12. And I was really trying to get some more drivability in it and not have it on the so ragged. So I was just trying to get, but keep the performance. And I think I was able to do that. I'm going to adjust the ABS up one. Maybe it's just, you can see barely getting a little bit of lockup on the right front in a few corners. Some really good camera angles that they have. I think they look really good. They hit that a little rough. Again, that's like a make or break. And of course, this is always important. Get a good drive coming down the front straightaway. So we'll go ahead and jump in the car. You can see how that was a 132.125. I go down to third and up to fourth. You can go to just a fourth either way. I think third's maybe a teeny bit faster. You don't brake too much. Keep the momentum up. You see the lights. They work. I mean, see how bright it is. They're really good. Trail brake too much going in there because it's so slick. Let the car, it'll rotate on its own. I'm still missing some here. I need to carry a little momentum, but I'm just not hitting that right. So there's definitely more time on the table for sure. And that too. So I think the lights do really good at night, so definitely not a non-issue for sure. And that was my fast lap, a 132.05. And again, I started with 55 liters. I did do a 31, but I went out of bounds. So, and I'll show you that up here. You see right there is a 31.86. So I did that earlier, but I did go out of bounds just a teeny bit, so it really wasn't a legal lap. There's 31s in the car for sure. It's just a matter of, track conditions and just being on top of it, really just hitting everything and really practicing with the track and just getting, just taking advantage of everything that you can take advantage of as far as every corner and keeping the corner speed up and all those things. So we'll go ahead and go over to setup. Again, I appreciate your support. Any likes, subscribe is a lot of, I appreciate it. Feedback would be great. Anything that you all would like to see, because I know there's a lot of content out there. So I'm trying to do some setups. That's what I've been concentrating at. But let me know if there's anything else that you'd like to see. But again, I appreciate any support that you can. Of course, this link will be in the description. So, and I also have a Discord started, and it's going to be getting more built up, that I'm going to try to leave a link to my Discord in there also, which I'm going to try to where we can set it up to where if people need help a little bit or this and that, you can get a hold of me there, and I can reply back to you and things like that to try to help out if anybody needs any minor adjustments or things like that to help them where they're stuck with something. So again, I encourage you to join my Discord, and I've had a lot of people have been wanting me to do it for a long, long time, and I sorry to say it's a little raw right now because I'm just trying to slowly do things to it, but things will be happening, over time. Just again, you got to start somewhere. So there's a setup. We got 27.7 left front, 25.3 left rear, 24.6 right front, 24.6 right rear. The temperature is only like 1 or 2 degrees lower than it was earlier, and I actually was when I first started. It was like 23, so it's just getting a little cooler. I've been actually doing this, like I said, for about another hour. So, but again, these pressures should work really close. You might have to go down just 1 or 2 clicks. Tow is a negative 0.1, camber is negative 3.6, caster at 11. Tow in the rear is a 0.05, positive 0.05 with the camber at negative 2.8. Now here, I have tried so many different combinations. I've tried a lot of negative tow, and that just didn't seem to work that good. Scrubbing too much speed, and just it would overreact. So on the front end part, and it would over rotate. So basically, took some of that out, and trying to get the rear end to feel right and the car to feel balanced. So I had more positive tow in it, took a lot of that out. So I've tried a lot of different things, a lot of negative camber, real low negative camber. This is kind of in the middle. So again, I didn't see any major advantages either way. A little bit advantage going this way, actually, when I was running really low negative camber. It was, I had it all the way down to like -3 just to see what it would do, just to see what, and this down a little bit more too, but it didn't help. So again, I'm just trying a lot of different things. I'm just starting from scratch to see what the car likes, what it doesn't like. So I kept going up a little bit at a time, and it seemed like it kind of stopped improving here. Electronics, I got 4, 3, 8, and 6. And again, these are I'm gonna go 4. I'm gonna go one more in the ABS. So again, like I said, so it'll be 4, 4, 8, and 6, just to keep that tight right front from locking up. And I still did my fast laps with this. So again, it leaves you a little bit of safety. You could be a little bit more aggressive with the TC, but I mean, it gave me a little bit of a parachute. So fuel, of course, I had 55 liters. Number 1 brake pad. Tire wear was, again, it was good, but it needs to be better. Something needs to be improved upon, but it was okay. Again, with all these cars that I'm testing, it seems the rear tires wear faster than the fronts, no matter what car it is so far. At least here at Valencia and some other tracks. So that's going to be the challenge, because you're going to wear the rears out probably faster than the fronts, and then of course we'll see what happens with the handling. So again, I try to keep that to a minimum, but there's only so much you can do, especially when you get to the mid-engine and rear engine car. You get a little bit more rear tire wear. So, but we got 4 on the anti-roll bar, 55 on the brake bias, steering's 12. Springs are 127,000 on the front with a 600 bump stop rate, a 3 bump stop range. And on the rear, the springs are 162,000 with a bump stop rate of 500 and a bump stop range of 18. Anti-roll bar is 1, and the preload on the diff is 80. Now, again, here, I have tried so many combinations, I can't even tell you. I mean, I've low anti-roll bars, lower springs, higher springs on front and back. But I don't know. I mean, I'm sure there'll be another setup, improved on this one. But for right now, this was really good. And I've tried stiffer springs, but the car feels like there's no grip. If I stiffen it up, the car just feels like it's sliding, and it just doesn't feel good, and I can't. It just doesn't feel right. So, and I've tried everything to stop it, and so really, when I went with the softer springs, it seemed to limit that and keep it more balanced front to rear. Again, with the bump stop rates, I have tried a ton of bump stop rates and ranges. So again, there's really not a lot you can do to improve upon it. I'm sure there's a few things you could do for minor improvements, but I mean, I think it's pretty close. Um, and again, with the anti-roll bar and the diff on the back, I've tried all kinds of different settings. So trust me when I say I've been through the gamut of all these, just trying to find a good balance. And I'm sure I can improve upon it, but at least this will give me a base. And but I've tried a lot of different things. Shocks on the front, on the left front, it's 5756, and on the right front, it's 5774, and on the rear, its left rear is 7464, and on the right rear, it's 7485. So again, all these have been changed and tweaked some more, and I used Motec again, and the graphs look tremendously different compared to what they did in the old Porsche. But again, this is a good baseline. Maybe I'll have to go off of some different stuff, but the graphs are very good up and down scale wise, way better than the older Porsche. So actually the graphs look way better. So that's an improvement. Every time I made adjustments, it seemed like I got a little bit better improvement as far as grip. So again, because they were a lot more than this, they were like bump was like 10. They were a lot higher than what these are, so they were definitely higher. So again, it seems like it feels a little bit better, a little bit more grip, and a little bit more better balance. So aero, got 53 in the front, 70 in the rear with a maxed out wing at 12 and a 4 and a 4 and a brake ducts in the front. Aero variation is a 6.5 to the positive. Now, with this new Porsche, it's not as bad as the old Porsche. The fuel's still in the front. It still makes a difference, but it's about basically cut in half. As you can see, we got 6.5 to the positive. So let's take, I got 55 liters, so let's put only 3 in it. Well, see, it drops down to 6.1. This comes up 2. See, the rear still stays the same, just like any other Porsche, but this comes up 2. So it still does it, but it's about half as bad as the other Porsche, the older Porsche. Maybe not quite half, but it's still an improvement. The balance is still better, but you still have that same issue that the front end is going to come up as the fuel comes off. So again, it's still going to be an issue. Definitely, if you had a longer race and you had to have a higher fuel load, I might take a click out of the wing just to give you a little bit more balance and later on in the fuel stint. You can try that. I just went with this as a conservative at a baseline, but if you need more rotation, would like more rotation, I would do nothing but just take one click out and just try it. So again, it's 1 mile an hour down the straightaway. That's it. But, well, actually, from a 10 to the 12 is 1 mile an hour, I should say. So from a 10 wing to a 12 wing is 1 mile an hour. And actually, it's only 1 mile an hour slower than the Huracan Evo 2 and the new 296 Ferrari down the straightaway. It's 1 mile an hour slower. That's it. So for the Porsche, that's like a huge victory because usually you're always fighting, 3 to 5 miles an hour easy. So again, something I would like to try maybe in the future is have a 10 wing or a 9 wing, something like that, but raise the front maybe 1 click or 2 clicks or something like that. Something I would like to try just to see what would help, but most of the time when you do stuff like that, when you raise the nose, you kind of wash out the front end, and then on top of it, you really don't gain that much speed because you're lifting the nose up. So again, something I would like to try in the future, but for right now, this is what I'll stick with. It gives me the best feeling and the best balance on the car front to rear. So again, really fun car to drive, great sound. Again, I hope it works good for you. I'm sure there'll be more stuff coming out. Again, I'll be working on the Huracan and the Ferrari, both of them. I have already roughed in, and the pace is close to the Porsche, and I'm sure that'll be just as fast or faster time I get it done. So they're both great cars, and actually they're both easier to drive than the Porsche, but that's normal. I mean, really, to be honest with you, the Lamborghini may be a little bit harder to drive from before, but the new Evo 2 now I think is easier to drive. So it's easier to drive, easier to handle, and the Ferrari is easier to is a nice car to drive. And pace-wise, they both do it a little bit different, but they're still pretty equal pace-wise, not too far off. for me anyway. But I think the Porsche, you gotta again drive it a little differently, and it just takes a little bit different mentality, just like the other Porsche. Same, it still has the same DNA, same thing. It's just a little bit, just a little different. So again, I hope you enjoy it. I do have a PayPal account in my in the description. So again, any PayPal, if you support that way, I really would thank you. I mean, these setups take a very, very long time, and I would appreciate any support. And of course, but if you watch all my videos and you give me likes, that's support too. So again, thank you for anything that you can do. Any amount is great, or even likes and subscribing or comments are great too. So whatever you can do, I appreciate it. And again, I love talking to all my sim racing friends. I really do. That's not just me saying it. I really do enjoy it. And I hope you all come back and visit again really soon. See ya.